We're good. You all please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can I get a roll call?
Mr. Cook?
Here.
Mr. D'Adriano?
Here.
Mr. Rogan?
Here.
Ms. Smith? Here. Mr. Williams?
Here. Somebody like to audit the bills?
Sure, I'd like to make a motion to approve abstract number 17 dated September 16th, 2022 in the amount of $608,549.92. So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. We do have budget adjustment request number 22.
Number 22. Following budget adjustments is necessary to allocate the state aid funding for the Jackson Beach EZ dock installation. So we're going to increase state aid capital projects fund balance account, $100,000. We're going to increase parks equipment and capital outlay, $108,700. And we're going to decrease parks contractual by $8,700. I'll make a motion that the town board approve budget adjustment request number 22. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Peter.
All right, first agenda, I have two EMS resignations. So the first one is John Gaffney. John worked for us past 5 years. He's moving on to bigger, better things. I'd like to make a motion to accept reluctantly John Gaffney's resignation as EMT Patterson EMS. So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Second EMS resignation, as an EMT, is from Joseph Carucci, who he is a physician's assistant. He's doesn't have much time to give to the EMS anymore. So we'd like to thank him for his service and accept his resignation as read. So move.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
I'd just like to point out that the letter of resignation also recognizes our current EMS administrator, Robert Kearns, and the wonderful things he's done for the department.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point too, because we get these resignations all the time. It seems like there's a lot of turnover, but all these people that are EMTs that resign, they go on to bigger and better things. The FDNY and police officers, and one I think was a firefighter down in Carolina somewhere.
Yes.
So they go on to bigger, better things, and that's a testament to Bobby Kearns, the way he runs the EMS and trains up his people, and unfortunately we lose them, but it's nice that they're going on to bigger and better things.
Yes.
All right, next I have is a resolution here for the application for the New York State Court Assistance Program, the court. It's for the amount, the grant cycle is up for 2022 to 23 is up to $16,500 for interior reservations, repairs, as described in the application. So I'd like to make a motion to approve and enter the resolution as read into the records. So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
And lastly, we have a new hire for the town court officer. Make a motion to hire Dominic Sabatino as a justice court officer effective September 28th, 2022 at the rate of $35 per hour. With this resolution as read, enter it to the records. So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That is all I have.
John?
Next we have,
Sorry, Charles. I do skip you a lot.
next we have a request from Department of Code Enforcement with regard to a refund. There was a application made to create additional bedroom and application to finish a basement. Both applications were withdrawn. So the Department of Code Enforcement is requesting a refund in the amount of $300, which includes both $100 permit fees for each project, as well as a $50 fee for the certificate of compliance for each project. $75 application fee is non-refundable for either application. So I'll make a motion that the town board approve the recommendation from Department of Code Enforcement dated September 27, 2022. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have, you want to deal with this one now?
So, yeah, let me deal with this because Charlie unfortunately was not here for our budget work session when we met with Robert McCarthy, Director of Code Enforcement. We had a good conversation about his budget and also about Leslie Crates. I can't even say her last name, Kraske. And so I'm going to make a motion to allow an additional 113 hours for Leslie Kraske in the building department at her current rate of pay through the end of the year.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next we have snow removal bid. The invitation to bid for the winter sidewalk maintenance in Patterson Hamlet. So I will make a motion that the town board approve requesting the town clerk to publish public notices in our papers for this project. And the bids are due back on October 18th, 10 a.m. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I apologize.
That's all right. Next, similar, it's an invitation to bid for snow removal for the sewer and water treatment, the water districts. And it's the same thing. Bids due back October 18th, 2022, 10:15 a.m. So I will make a motion, town board approve the town board requesting the town clerk to issue public notices in the newspapers for this bidding process. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have a conference request form for Janet Revo to attend a employer education seminar. I'll make a motion that the town board approves this request and for an amount not to exceed $90. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. I'm good.
Okay, next item we have is very timely considering the appointments for the Board of Assessment Review are about to expire. So the first one is for a reappointment of Miss Mary Butler as the chair of the board, which the term is from September 30th of this year to September 30th of 2023. It's an honor to make this motion to ask that this resolution be entered into the record as though read and give Ms. Butler the reappointment to the chair position. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next is a reappointment for Nancy Kubik for her term on the board, which is a 5-year term. Will expire September 30th, 2027. I ask that this resolution be entered into the record as though read. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next, we have an announcement for the garbage district number 1 Putnam Lake bulk pickup, which will be Saturday, October 15th. Please have your bulk items curbside by 6 a.m. on that day. There's a note, if the truck passes your street and your items are not out, they will not come back. This will be on the town website. I'll hold it up here for Paul for a second. Capture that. Good. I'm sure that's an event that I know the community looks forward to. So it's a great time to clean out, do some fall cleaning. Avail yourself of that opportunity. Another great opportunity is coming up on the same day, October 15th. It is the semi-annual Household Hazardous Waste Cleanup Day, sponsored by the Putnam County Department of Health in conjunction with the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. In order to come to this event, you must be pre-registered. You can do that by visiting the Health Department website. Go to www.putnamcountyny.com, select the Health Department and look for the recycling tab, and you can register online. And you will be given a time slot that you can pick, and you can bring your items that you'd like to dispose of from your garage, your house. And there's a better list on the website of all of the items that are allowed and some that are not allowed. And again, these are held usually May and October of each year. So if you can't make this October, look forward to one in early May of 2023. They're at Fawnstock State Park in Kent, New York, off Route 301. Thank you.
Okay, first on my agenda is kind of an announcement, just to let everybody know. The new docks went in on Jackson Beach. The docks are principally paid for by a grant we received from the state. No cost to our taxpayers, little cost. Listen, a big thank you to Russ Goff, Highway Superintendent, and his men who were out there early in the morning and offloaded the docks and got them all set up. And Easy Dock crews came in and installed them in the lake. That's what they look like.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So, and we've got the invoice in. Ready? Well. Got the invoice in, and as soon as we get everything processed, I'll be putting in for reimbursement from the state. Next on my agenda is an offer of donation of a piece of land. The piece of land is on the corner of Sullivan and Roanoke Road in the Putnam Lake area. I have a picture for anybody that wants to see it. I did go out there with our future town planner, Shannon, and take a look at it. It is a somewhat sloping piece of property that is forested, thick undergrowth. And both sides of the lot funnel down into a kind of a wet area where the town's drainage goes. I think there's 3 swales that go onto the site, plus a pipe that goes under the road, because on the uphill side, it's wet as well. We took a look at it for potential uses out there. There's not much use for it other than what its current, the function is currently serving, which is stormwater management. I think if we had the property, we could talk to the East of Hudson Watershed Corp. And well, so somebody,
I know the lines are
yes,
not accurate.
the lines are not accurate.
So
So
I knew that, but
Councilman Rogan just pointed out that it looks like
that's,
the house is on the property. It's really not.
yeah, it's just the way they come
Yeah.
out on the, I get that.
Yeah,
it's
so.
just- But it is offsets there. Never mind.
Right, so we could potentially take the property and talk to the East of Hudson Watershed Corporation and potentially put a stormwater retrofit project out there, which would help the town in our future commitments. Not much else you're gonna do with it, and it's certainly not a buildable piece of property. And the only other thing that I could see that's gonna happen with this is the taxpayer is gonna stop paying taxes because it's not a buildable piece of property. And we're gonna get into this vicious cycle of people, the county putting it up for sale, and then people, are gonna buy it, try to build on it, can't stop paying taxes, and on we go.
Well, based on the slope and everything in the wet area, I think it's definitely going to be some use for drainage, and
Yeah.
it's a win-win.
Now, there are a couple of trees out there that if we were to take it, I just want everybody to be aware, we really need to get in and cut them down. So, anybody got any thoughts, comments?
You can't fit a pool in there?
Yeah.
I was thinking of a baseball field.
It's a baseball field?
I think it's a little small for a baseball field,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and we could get a kiddie
Little
pool in
league.
there.
Little
Yeah.
league.
no, I think it's a good idea though. Rich.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, I'd like to make a motion to accept the offer of donation of tax map parcels 25.62-1-53 and 25.62-1-54. So moved.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Jamie, I'll be sending you all the information. We'll get to work on that.
Yeah, we should definitely do it, at least a title search and then have a deed and do all the proper
Yes.
documents, of course.
And the last thing that I have for the moment is a quote that we have from Xylem Water Solutions for a decanter actuator for the amount of $17,628.57, which seems a little pricey, but
Is it like a sole source provider?
yeah, it is a sole source. So here's the backdrop on this is that we have two SBR tanks out there. We have to decant the water off the top of them. There's this arm that actually goes in and does that and then removes the sludge. We've been having more and more problems as the plant grows in age, and there's one company in the area, Raritan, that will do maintenance on them, but we have had nothing but headaches with Raritan. And so, and we always try to have a backup, but we recently lost one of the arms. We changed it out with the backup, sent it down to Raritan. They're evaluating it, and it takes a long time for them to do the evaluation. So while they're evaluating it, the one that recently been repaired and came back that we put into service also broke. And in order to swap parts between the two and get them fixed, we were down for about a week. And so we have to then manually decant those systems to keep them functional, which resulted in a bill that you just signed the voucher is between $12,000 and $13,000 for people to stand there and decant those things. We can't be down like that. I mean, it's just crazy.
Mhm.
So the solution is to buy yet another arm and then try to have 3 backups, because this is one of our Achilles heel. The other is all the pumps in the pump stations, which we're constantly changing out. Well, anyway, that's the backdrop. So I'd like to make a motion to approve the purchase of a decant actuator for the amount of $17,628.57 from Xylem Water Solutions. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Oops, sorry, Charles, go ahead.
Second.
My bad.
All in favor?
Aye.
I apologize.
All right. I have one more thing that I will wait to other business.
Okay. First item on my agenda are rec department requests. We have quite a few of them. The first one is a non-bid procurement request form. Mr. Machibaro is looking to purchase 35 fleece pullover hoodies with designs on the front. He got prices and the low bidder came in at Extreme Designs for $746.75. So I'd like to make a motion to purchase from Extreme Designs these 35 fleece pullovers at the cost of $746.75. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
We have another non-bid procurement request form for 35 long sleeve essential t-shirts with the designs on the front. Again, Extreme Designs is the low bidder, coming in at $481.50. I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of these 35 long sleeve essential t-shirts in the amount of $481.50. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I have a volunteer annual training is the subject from Mr. Matt Chabaro. He's asking us to consider amending or waiving the current policy requiring volunteers to take the 4 NeoGov annual training courses that all employees have to take. I'd have to say that, and I don't know if you want to open this for discussion, I'm not in favor of doing this. I think this leaves the town and as a liable for if anything could happen, that these employees do need to take the annual training. It is mandated by the state to do so. And we're covered if anything negative happens amongst the workplace violence program, for example, policy, non-discrimination and harassment. I think it's our obligation to move forward on this. I had only one question, and that is, are they being paid for the time that they're taking these courses
The volunteers. So
Okay.
are we paying them?
to do the course?
Yeah.
Nothing. Okay.
I think that's the issue, you know,
Yeah.
asking volunteers to volunteer to coach or
Mhm.
whatever, and then, oh yeah, by the way, you got to take hours of these online courses,
So-
especially the
What if we
hazmat.
get- what if we give a stipend for a set amount for people to take the classes that are gonna volunteer?
Well, I just want
Before we
to,
do that, so I had tried to reach out to the state, couldn't get an answer. Jamie
Yeah.
said she was gonna try to reach
I
out.
tried to reach out too and I didn't get an answer. Now, when we were talking last time, because I think the trainings that Mary mentioned, specifically harassment, things like that, of course, are concerning, but is this specific training, does that include that, or are those separate? This includes all.
This includes all the training.
It's like
Workplace
bloodborne
violence,
pathogens.
yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
important.
Hazardous communication.
Bloodborne pathogen definitely in the rec department. I mean,
well, the only thing I'm going to point out is that even though they're volunteers and they're not being paid, they're still employees of the town. So they
Still
still
liable for
have
them.
to, yes, they still
Yeah.
have to follow the handbook. Matt even outlines in his request that they do all of that. They get the handbook, they sign off that they received it, they know the policies and the procedures of the
Mhm.
town. This is also something that's being governed, by a higher authority, and that they do have to comply with this. So, I don't think there's any way getting around it. They need to do it. Is this something that they obviously can do at home on their own time? Or maybe it would be easier for them if he brought them all in together, like as an orientation, took care of all of that before they started volunteering. It might make it a little easier for them. So I think maybe he should look into that option.
Well, the second option is a little difficult because we get volunteers constantly throughout the year. It's not any one particular time. And I will say, if the board's interested in maybe incentivizing doing the training for a volunteer with a stipend, I could go back and have that conversation with staff and come back with a recommendation.
I think we'd also then have to open it up to volunteers on the park boards or whatever other volunteers on
Correct.
committees and
Well,
whatnot.
that's what we would work up the numbers as far as how many people are volunteers, not getting paid. And then maybe make a recommendation on a dollar amount.
I'm sure there's some type of a training process that a volunteer goes through for just to learn, what they're doing in the rec department at all. So when they come in and sign all their papers and do all of that, maybe at that point, they should just sit down there and take care of that obligation at that moment in time. And it also shows that the person is committed and serious about taking on a position, volunteering, not getting paid is, not for everyone. So, someone might change their mind after they see that. So once you get them, they're committed, they're interested, get them to come in, sit down, take care of all the paperwork and the training at the same time.
The only thing is computers down there. How many computers do they have to be able to train people? If you're coming in for 5 people coming for orientation.
Well, that's what I suggested before. If you have 5 people, bring them all in. I think that, I believe that you could do a sign off, the trainer and the person who went over everything with them rather
You can
than,
have like live training instead of,
Yes.
oh yeah, instead of the computer.
I don't know. I think it's an option.
always
I
in
think
for
maybe Rich could find
in-person
out
training.
because you were calling about.
Doing live training.
Yeah.
So in the past, yes, we've had Comp Alliance come in. I think it was Comp Alliance, Joe, and do the training for us on things like bloodborne pathogens,
Mhm.
workplace violence.
Mhm.
For those who would prefer to sit, there for 4 hours rather than sit in front of a
Mhm.
computer screen for an hour.
Mhm.
It's an hour.
The 4 trainings take a lot longer than.
Well,
Mm.
Yeah.
so,
like
yes,
6
you're
hours.
absolutely right. Each training is an hour.
Yeah.
I think it's good to have somebody check to see if somebody can come in and do
Yeah, we can look
a
at that.
session. That might work well for
All right,
Okay.
we'll get it.
The next item is something that I was not here for the last meeting on September 8th. It was tabled, but I would like to revisit this. And after a discussion there, we've made a decision to approve Dean. I want to make sure I say his name right. Hickenbotham and Mr. Matthew Chabaro Jr. to pay adjustment at the rate of $15 per hour for each of them. So I'll make a motion to make that adjustment, and that would be effective
Immediately.
immediately. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next item is a request from Mr. Chabarro regarding Patricia Vaughn, a raise request. I'd like to make a motion to increase her rate to $17 per hour effective 9/29/22. And Ms. Vaughn has worked for the Recreation Department in the kindergarten and pre-K program since November 2012. She complements the program with her personality and work ethic. So we've taken that into consideration. And I'd like to make a motion to increase her pay rate to $17 per hour. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Did you want me to do these or are these at the end?
No, you're the only one that actually has those, because they did them in color, so we could hold them
Yeah,
up.
I'm sticking with this though, right?
Yeah, go
Rec?
ahead.
I'll stay under rec.
Stay on the rec.
Oh,
Don't confuse me. I thought it was
No, no.
2023 yesterday.
sorry.
Okay, so pleased to announce that the Patterson Recreation Center is having a pumpkin painting party, a family-friendly fun night. The Great Pumpkin Painting Party comes, when it comes to painting
Great.
pumpkins, there's no better place to be than hanging out with us at the Patterson Rec Center. They are hosting their first ever pumpkin painting party, but don't worry, our newest staff member, Jared, is a pumpkin painting expert. So we know you're all going to have a great time. Advanced registration is required and Mr. Chabarro hopes to see everyone there. The details, Friday, October 14th from 6 to 8 p.m. Open to all ages. It is $10 per participant. And the location, of course, will be at the Patterson Rec Center, 65 Front Street in Patterson, New York. Additional info, no pumpkin carving, sorry. That's what I was going to ask. What about pumpkin seeds? You can sign up online at pattersonnymyrec.com. Did I get that right? 878-7200. Okay. The next is a community tag sale. Saturday, October 22nd, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the rec center again. Dozens and dozens of sellers, vendors indoor at the rec, so no need to worry about the weather. Concession stand will be open throughout the day, and it is free entry. Vendors are wanted, $30 a space, 10 by 10 sign up. Online, please, pattersonny.myrec.com. Very busy place these days. Okay, and this is something that looks really interesting. Halloween bingo night at the rec. This looks great. Family bingo night, Halloween edition. Come join Patterson Recreation for an evening of bingo for the whole family. This totally free event is bound to be a great time and is brought to you totally free of charge. Did I say free? It's free. Our newest staff member, Jared, will be calling games throughout the night and will be handing out plenty of great prizes too. Please note that space is limited and pre-registration is required. Friday, October 7th, 6 to 8 p.m., open to all ages, again, free of charge. pattersonny.myrec.com. Good? Good. Okay. That looks good. I've actually never played bingo.
Never.
No. Maybe I'll try it. Okay, the next item on my agenda is the D. Ottavio performance bond. So at the September 1st, 2022 meeting, the planning board recommended for the town board to accept the adjusted bond estimate of $710,000 with an inspection fee of $35,000 for the above mentioned project as recommended by the town engineer. The town engineer also recommended that based on the work having been previously completed, the remaining bond amount is $514,275.20. So I have in front of me a resolution to adjust for an adjustment of a performance bond for the D. Ottavio site plan. So I'd like to make a motion to enter this resolution into the record as though read. So moved.
All in favor?
Aye. Lastly, I have the EMS building. The project is coming to surface, and there's a proposal here from Renia Engineering Design for a proposal of consulting services. So I'd like to make a motion to approve the services of Renia Engineering for the schematic building design and layout. The estimated fee for this service is between $14,000 and $16,500. So I'd like to make a motion to approve the professional services from Renia Engineering in the amount not to exceed more than $16,500. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. And that is all I have. Is
Okay.
that enough?
And we are at other business. Does any board member have any other business they wish to bring up at this time?
So two things. Have we heard back from DEC with regard to the Putnam Lake Dam?
How did you mention that? No, we have not.
No.
Other than they have scheduled an inspection of the dam for November. So I intend to show up at the inspection with the letter in hand saying, well, what are you going to do about this?
And the other thing is, have we heard anything from the county getting the money that they were proposing to send out to the local communities?
The ARPA funds.
Yeah.
So initially, I did hear from the county who said that everything that we needed to submit had been submitted. They were preparing contracts between the municipalities. I've heard from my fellow supervisors who are kind of pulling their hair out because the county seems to be changing the requirements. I have not heard anything from the county. I think our submission was fine, what we were looking to do with it. And I'm just sitting here waiting for contracts to come in. If they don't come in a few weeks, I certainly will be following up.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? All right, I do have one thing. You know, our town clerk graciously does the minutes for the town board as required by the law. And, you know, she does a good job with the minutes, but from time to time, we need to have things in the minutes that exceed the state requirements. You know, so that we can provide further documentation to some of the other agencies and or departments that we're working with. And that was the case, unfortunately, with the August 10th minutes and reviewing the minutes. Actually, you know, I went to do something with the minutes and found that, you know, there was something that needed a little bit further clarification. I brought it to the town clerk's attention. She was gracious to amend the August 10th 2022 minutes to include the additional language that we need to have in there in support of our decisions. And you have that in front of you. I think everybody's gotten it. And I'd like to make a motion to approve the amended August 10th, 2022 minutes. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And we are good. We'll open it up to public recognition. Do either of the two people sitting here wish to make any comments to the board? All right, hearing none, we will turn to our audience joining us by Zoom. Does any member of the audience joining us by Zoom, if you would please unmute, state your name and address for the record, and make your comments or ask your questions.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all for coming.